What up, y'all? I got water, I got fire, I got earth pigments. I'm ready to go. Um, this is Daydream session number 7. I feel very grateful that we got some feedback. I feel very grateful that this is number 7. 7. Just because this has been a weekly practice in co-creation with everyone who's here, everyone who joins this session, and everyone who will find this one day. Everything for me shifted when I decided that I was going to create a real-time archive of my studio and my work. And any person who comes across this space, that's what you're encountering. It's just a record of the time that I was here and that I tried to do good things for good people and change the planet for the better through art. So thank you for being here. I got some new paints that I will be working with. Give me a second. It is hot in Long Beach right now, and I need a fan. I hope it's not too much of a deterrent on the audio side of things. So I have new colors. I've been working with this set. I have to say, I haven't been in love with it. This was a pure pigment set from my favorite watercolor brand, Mijello. This brand right here, Korean brand. I love their granulating colors. I love their gold series, which is the colors are not pure single pigments, but the mixes they choose, I love, and I've gotten very used to those, and I enjoy them as my main palette. But I find myself still wanting to figure this out. I think part of it is that you kind of create new colors with these single concentrated pigments. I like some of the colors. I don't love all of them, so we're still working on it. But I'm determined to mix this in with other colors. So I've got this one, Terra Verde. I don't know. Green Earth, I suppose. I really like Core. That's been a good alternative. I would say third would be Daniel Smith. Those are my favorite watercolor brands. Oh wait. Let's not jump to that. In order, Mijello, number 1. Beam Paints, number 2. It's a toss-up with Daniel Smith and Core right now. I like both. They serve different purposes. I'm excited for Coral Reef. I did a recent art supply room at Art Supply Warehouse in Westminster. Minister? I'm still getting it confused. But I got these pigments. And I also got some new paper, sketchbooks, things like that. So I'm going to break in my new sketchbook, which was this one right here. So Arches, they've got this like long format. I don't remember what the dimensions are because I covered it up with my bumper sticker. Yeah, but we're gonna just play, add some things onto this. I'm gonna be gentle because I cut my hand and I've been dealing with some chronic pain things. So I'm trying to, just ease on my hands a bit, but it's hard when this is what I love to do in my livelihood, but I feel confident that I can be gentle. And look forward to this space every single week. So if I got a finger paint to avoid the pain, then maybe that's what I'll do. But in the meantime, let's try. Hematite, genuine. I'm just gonna mix these in with other colors and see what happens. I skipped a week, so this being session number 7 means that it's been 8 weeks since I started this. So that means it's been roughly 2 months, and I'm just, like it doesn't matter if other people are in the space live with me. I finally feel what this is, the record keeping of this, and so this is me with higher self, just doing the damn thing, holding a record of it and holding the space. So if you come across this and you just need a creative container, you need someone to just be nearby, kind of like study hall or whatever co-creative spaces existed before we got sucked into our phones. This is the space. Oh shit. Hello, Emmett. Welcome. Thank you for joining. All right, so now it's me and Emmett just kicking it on the digital stoop, doing our thing. What did you say? Yeah, no, I appreciate you. It's yeah, I get a lot of pain in a lot of different joints, and it's autoimmune. So it's been a journey, but I wouldn't have it any other way because that journey led me back to art ultimately. But in moments like this, I do wish there were clearer solutions. I'm trying to work on strength in my hands and stuff, but we'll see. Okay. Before I break in my new sketchbook, I will test the colors on this Fabriano sheet because why the fuck not? Um, if this is, yeah, this is. Here, let's use the side with less grain. How are you doing, Emmett? How has your week been? Also, by the way, I mentioned uh, postponing the film still thing, the film still lives, because I think ultimately I'm going to be utilizing YouTube a lot more, and I'm going to hold Patreon as the container for my archive for those who want to support and go deeper and have access to something that's quite actually private to me. Private slash, I think more important than the word private, more sacred. Um, so there will be updates on the film thing. I'm going to open it up to the subscribers on the YouTube channel and just hope that that helps us grow as a community. Um, but I also want to pace myself because my body is showing me to take the break. Spirit said, slow the fuck down. And I have not been taking the hint. I've been kind of going and going. So, case in point, I slashed my finger open right before this session and I was going too quick. this coral color. Apparently, it's a newer offering from Daniel Smith. The moment I saw it, I was like, yeah, let's just grab it. I imagine I'll be using this color a lot. I started with, in terms of like pinks, I started with Opera Pink being my bread and butter, and then lately I've been feeling a little bit more demure. I've been wanting to take a break from like the intensity of the color, not permanently for sure, but just trying to blends, going softer. Oh, very cool. Happy early birthday to your wife. I'm excited to hear how the party goes. A-okay with me, thank you. Yep, this is that space. I'm I'm curious, Emmett, is today are you gonna be co-creating today as well? And is it the menu for the mixology? That's awesome that you're doing a custom menu for the birthday party. I'm curious, what is there like a theme for the birthday party? We're looking at transparent pyrrole orange. I think I mentioned this in a previous session. I have been looking for the right orange, the orange that really like feels right to me. I think I finally found it. It's pyrrole transparent orange. This color. It's intense. It's orange as all hell. It's transparent. It you can build on it. I really love this color. I think I finally found the orange. And the crazy thing is, I should have gotten it sooner, and I kept pushing it and pushing it. I was like, I don't need it. I have too many oranges. But yeah, I was looking at all the wrong oranges, and now I found my orange. So I'm really happy about that. That's this one right here. So that's up top. Then I got this granulating black, this Mars black that I'm gonna try a monochrome painting today as well. But let's see. I can't fully tell if I think I like it. I have to test it kind of on its own more so before I can make that call. But that's Mars Black. I'm hoping to do a series, just a random video on the Patreon or on YouTube or whatever. That's the thing. I'm trying to figure out. I feel very called to just the democratizing of information, and so it's been interesting for me to have a Patreon where there's a paywall, and then deciding like what content belongs where has been interesting. And I'm still on that journey. I'm figuring it out. I just feel art should be accessible to everyone, and I'm also learning to try and put value on in certain spaces where I am taking up space. And but I will I will be workshopping it because this is um, I've made peace with like this is a work in progress, like holding the space, learning where to create differences. Um, let's see, what did you say? Yeah, I think you should design the menu, Emmett. That would be a great use of this moment. And if you know, if you need some bounce back or feedback, shows a floral theme. Ooh, centerpiece cocktail is gonna be gin infused. Ooh, I love butterfly pea tea. Butterfly pea in general, the powder as well. But that sounds pretty good. I'm not a gin drinker. I'm not a drinker anymore, period. But I'll have a drink every now and then. And gin was never my favorite, but recently I've come across some gin drinks that opened my palate, let's say. So rosemary and butterfly pea sounds pretty cool. Mm, I appreciate you, Emma. Thank you for your support in many capacities. Right now, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can. I am basically trying to do freehand mixes where these colors are no longer just their pure pigments because, as I mentioned before, I don't love all of the pure pigments, like in terms of color tone. They're not calling to me, and so I'm blending them together with other colors to kind of see what happens. And, ooh, see, there you go. I like that. I like my greens to have a bit of blue. It's, I say that, but then it's like I love all greens. I like yellow. I love that idea. I too have some big dreams of once, and I say this in the same way, like, I'm catching myself saying once. I've tried to lean into in my everyday today, are there ways that I can still do something like how can I be generous within reason, with what I've got currently, but I feel you on that whole thing. It's why at my table, like I try to offer, if someone's really kind and they're supportive, I always throw extra art in, and they're always like, "But I want to pay for that extra art." And I'm like, I'm just so grateful for connecting with good humans that I'd rather you just enjoy the art. But that applies for books. It applies for clothing, for things that we don't use anymore, that we think we live in a culture where we think we have to like sell everything. And sometimes you can just fucking give things to people, and I like that idea. It's contentious to say, one second, I need to fix my setup so I can see the text messages more clear. There you go. You're saying, I think that's kind of the point, Emmett, what you just said about money. It's like, it's a piece of paper built in a construct, and there have been far many more forms of currency before paper money. And now we're seeing digital currencies. We're going back to like bartering. So yeah, I agree. Like, money is like whatever. The more important thing is, what do you want with that money? Because that's probably what you should be aiming for, and you'll probably find a way to get it without the money. Not for everything, but there's ways. I've leaned into that myself. Put a thick coat up here. I'm enjoying this painting because I'm treating it a little like oil. I'm just like globbing shit on. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, and then we'll see what the colors look like. In the meantime, let's break in the sketchbook. Okay, first page is always a fun kind of like, all right, what do I feel like blessing this with? I'm definitely not using this. Oops. We're gonna pull out. Maybe we'll use both. We'll have everything at our disposal. I got this palette. I got that palette. I got. What else we got? Got Titan buff. What am I feeling? The first word that just popped into my head is like a secret meadow. So that's gonna be the vibe. I think today feels like a centered single piece instead of a lot of different ones. Also, Emmett, I'll send. I will. I've been behind on keeping up to date. I know that you probably don't mind, and I know that it's like we're at that place where like I'm just starting, so it's okay if I miss a week of like delivering last week's session and stuff. But I want to kind of keep it on a rhythm, so you can expect that later today or tomorrow at the latest. If you, I don't know if you return to them. I don't really. It's kind of like we hold the space and then we release it to whoever needs it next. Let's see what other paints. Let's do this one. I think I got enough paints. I'm activating them, but I don't need them yet. Let's start with some drawing. Alright, I'm going for Secret Meadow. What does that mean to me? the idea that we're looking in to a secret meadow area, so we're gonna give some dense foliage. So all this will be silhouetted pretty much. And then something's gonna be back here. What's back here? Let's do a little body of water. Some background foliage. We got some trees. Whatever. All right, we got something. I'm gonna try this spiral orange as our sky color. Intense late afternoon, almost sunset. Yeah, I love the intensity of this color. So I switched gears. I loved the intense color for opera pink, and now I have a more muted pink, and in its place I have found a really intense orange that I dig. I'm trying to find an alternative paper to arches because it's just on my heart. I would prefer not to. I would prefer to use a vegan paper. Um, I'm not all vegan, but like there's certain spaces where if I can place intention, I would prefer to do that. And I mean, part of what makes like paintings look so wonderful on this paper is that gelatin sizing. But I just in general, I'm like, are there There's some papers that come close, but it's just not the same thing, and I'm always on the lookout because to me it is important that I eventually find something else that works. But in the meantime, I mean, it's a great paper, and I would like to hope that how they source that gelatin is kindness. But I'm still looking. I tried a new paper called Magnani. Apparently, it's like the paper that Picasso used and some other big artists. And I do not fully love it. And I was very sad because that one was supposed to be the alternative to Arches. We're still searching. Okay, we need to do some. Just some background foliage. Hmm. Yeah, it's one of those things you always gotta choose trust on it. Like it's like it can look intense and then or like for example right now I'm like just doing things, but I'm trusting that it'll come together as you so eloquently said it. Like sunset looks even more intense when you add the darker value next to it, and then it's like cool, we're cooking. But literally like cooking, each section takes time and it takes like different you gotta make different moves. I'm still learning, but I this is me just literally like when people come across this or like even you like being able to see it in real time. I always tell people, please don't assume I know what the fuck I'm doing because I do not. I'm just trying something new again every day, every hour. I'm just trying something different. Just trying to learn, trying to keep the beginner's mind and let's see. Okay, I think this was a good enough first wash. I'm gonna let it dry. First, just smooth out some final. Look at that. That is awesome. I'm gonna try and get some more of those blues. Ooh, just lift it up. I do want that to stay, so I'm gonna leave that section. So this, just to show again, so pyrrole, transparent pyrrole orange. What is it called? Yes, transparent pyrrole orange, and then a blend of different greens from different companies. And then this is hematite genuine from Daniel Smith, super granulating. All this texture is really beautiful. I mixed it with a little bit of burnt sienna number 2 from Mission. I'm just trying shit, just hoping for fun visuals, fun images, fun colors, fun textures. I'm gonna let this dry and come back to it. This is what's happened on this test sheet. This one also needs to dry, so that means get another piece of paper. This big. Let's try a smaller piece. This is another watercolor brand. I do recommend, similar to the Legion brand that had the Yupo paper. It would be cool to do a Yupo thing, but I'm not called to it right now. Until I get more Yupo paper, I'm kind of holding. But Fluid 100, it's like it's Speedball art. They've got this. Um, you know what? Maybe this is the alternative to the arches. Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna do a little mini version of the same painting. There we go. We're gonna explore. It's not gonna be exactly the same thing, but that's okay. And if I'm gonna do that, then maybe okay. Emirate, this I said Emirate. Emmett, this is becoming a comparison of paper session. So this is a larger pad of the same thing. I'm just gonna go for it, and we're gonna do a comparison of the papers and see if this is truly the alternative. And if it is, then I'm gonna just start using this paper more. Thus in that direction, because this paper is vegan. I'm pretty sure, but it's one of the reasons I chose it. But I'll double check. First things first. Let's enjoy doubling up on the paintings. This is crazy to me. As this is drying down, it looks like ammonite fossils. That's sick. That yes. I have been digging hematite genuine. I love it already as a stone in my life. I've got a few little pieces of it throughout the home. But to use it as a paint, that's what's up. Let's try this again. Ooh. I will say right off the bat, the texture of the paper is way smoother, which is refreshing. It's a nice difference. trying new things again. Just pulling up some of the pigment, testing the strength of this paper, seeing what I can do with it. I'm going to use the same colors just for the controlled experiment. Something I'm working on, because like again, I mentioned, I'm always trying something new, and so just I know what it is, but just so I voice it for anyone who's watching, I'm this sort of like connecting zones or leaving white, the choice between either, like leaving the highlight versus going in with another color and blending it out is something I am being cognizant here. I tend to keep them separated, and this is me just choosing a little bit of trust to try and bring them closer together, knowing that as I go darker, I will create definition and stuff. But so far, this is what we got. And I need more hematite. Put it right on the table. This is already way darker than the other one, but this is where we're headed. do love black with browns. It's an interesting thing. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I've been digging that color combination. And I like the hematite with the sienna, the burnt sienna number 2. I like it more than I like the burnt sienna number 2 without or pure as a pigment. Whereas burnt sienna number 1 is one of my favorite colors. Adding some more black to give the rocks more definition. I'm gonna do the same on this one. Give that some time to dry. I really love these kind of cliffs. I don't know what it is. I love a good precipice cliff where it's just like whoosh, like coming over, curling over, barely standing, but still holding. Right now, I'm absolutely just mixing colors, throwing them on. I don't care. Just globbing it. I like muddy watercolors. I'm one of those people. I know there's people. Watercolor can look incredible, like with the transparency, but it's. I love watching other artists do it, but it's not for me. Um, Maybe as like a fun exercise, but generally speaking, I rather just kind of dig in there and mix everything up. try this liner brush. What I'm digging about this is it's like ethereal and it's not where I was going, but I didn't want all silhouettes. I wanted it to be, again, secret meadow. So I like to think there's these really funky trees in the middle of this little pond that kind of have a glow to them. Some let's do some neutral tint. I love this. When in doubt, put your finger in it. just trying not to be precious because this is a sketchbook and it's always meant for learning. So it's just like, what can I learn while I'm exploring this new space and time? Right now, I'm kind of trying to figure out how to create further depth, layer by layer. So let's call this a bit of a blending technique. We have a chunk of pigment. Just move it, less different spaces. I want to be mindful to leave that alone. Fill in some of these highlight spots with like some greenery, muted greenery, but greenery nonetheless. What's cool about this is it's kind of glowy. Like everything's kind of the plant life has like a little bit of this emanating quality, which I wasn't anticipating. Oh, oh, we're in the zone. Careful. Let's leave it alone. Let's see. Water break. Oop, sorry. Just crashed my face into the camera. This is cool. So this is again a point where I can be realistic or I can choose the fun discovery path. And I'm choosing the fun discovery path. Like technically this should be pitch black if I want to create, you know, this is foreground and then everything past it is illuminated still by the sunset, but I'm not gonna go fully black in silhouette because I like these textures and it doesn't have to be realistic. There's something cool about mixing pigments from different brands and just kind of having your own custom palette. You don't like stick to just one brand or whatever. And leave it alone. Switch back. This is where we're at. digging the Blue Island, so we're gonna keep that. This one. Change my música. Okay. I like this zone here because it feels misty, so I don't want to lose that. So I'm gonna leave it alone. Let's put some green down here. This approach is also cool, I'm discovering, because in real time I can make updates to the original. I can be like, what did I like? What don't I like? And let's flip it on here. And then same thing here, back to the other one. I like tandem painting. This is fun. I don't do this enough, where you just like work on two studies at once. So we're gonna do the next cinder again. Let's try and do some sepia. I'm really digging the tone of sepia. I made this discovery, I think, during the last session. So I feel very called to play with this on a little monochrome painting. Um, it's just it's a powerful tool. And I love like the purple gray cool tone of it. It's making me think of like, look at this, look at that. It's already done. I don't have to do anything else. It makes me think of what's that tone? I think it's called like Jane's Gray or something. There's certain grays or like sort of semi-neutral but leaning cool or warm that they're just tones that people have in their kits and use often. And I get why people would keep this in their kit. Some dry brush texture. some purple. To stick out even further. That's my favorite part of painting silhouettes. The way you just can build shape just by creating a void. If it doesn't make sense, you can expand it until it does make sense. Okay, let's not forget our glowy green pockets of life. I used to be a control freak, especially within art, when I was much younger and when I gave it up. And the thing that I'm discovering as I get older, as I have healed, as I've chosen myself and pursued my joy, um, it's you can try and control the experience, and if that's satisfying, cool. But I like, for example, like I'm just sticking shit on here, and that's it. I'm not, like I'm not. I know I have technique, and I know that I have experience in this, but what I try to like point out to people is that I don't rely on the technique as much as I rely on my feelings and happenstance. Sort of like I'll just put this here and see what happens, and it's like, oh, cool, that's happening. The moment I try to create in that container of like, okay, now I have the drawing, and now I'm going to do my layers. I'm going to be very considerate, intentional, and this is what I'm crafting. I can do it, and it's really, I hate to say it, but it's boring. It's really boring for me now. Whereas before, that was like that. The point of making art for me was like to finesse the line and get it like perfect, and it's like, yeah, 100 points. Then another perfect line, 100 points. Now I'm like, fuck the perfect line. Like, let the random line show me what's next. Like, I could not have. Oh my gosh, y'all. I could not have planned what's going on there. And I love it. I just threw a chunky piece of paint on and I love it. I love the way it's like snaking into the hematite genuine and the Mars black and the granulating, and I'm gonna leave it alone. And move on see where we are. I'm not using this one, so this one can go back. Let's make some space. Guys, look at this. Look at all of the. I have a lot on my plate, but this zone here is me working towards making my new palette. In the meantime, we'll get there. What'd you say? Perfectionism kills everything good is the truth. And honestly, the main reason why is because it's built on violent systems. There's nothing about perfectionism in indigenous cultures across the world. There's nothing about perfectionism in nature. So I'm right there with you. And I wish I had learned it sooner, but now that I know it, you best believe I'm gonna fucking speak up about it. Perfection. That's why I have that one sticker that says your hesitations are killing you. I don't know if you can see this. Woo! Nope. Over here. Okay. Foreground grass. Green is that. That's this one. First, let's shape the island. So much of combating perfectionism is trusting yourself and trusting what's happening is always going to be for you. It's definitely easier said than done, but it's not impossible. I'm living proof of that. I'm curious, Emma, do you suffer or have you suffered from perfectionism? I think I know the answer to that, but more important question, how have you how have you challenged perfectionism in your own life? Like how have you met it or moved past it? Um, how do you handle it when it comes up? What advice do you have for the interwebs? See, I really dig that. I wish I had done more of this on this one, but there's there's still time. This is some heavy pigment. Excuse me, some dry brush technique. My perfectionism really shines through in my cooking. Even if my food tastes good to everyone, I get super mad if it doesn't turn out exactly how I want it. Okay, I totally understand that. I'm curious. Is there anything that you do to like come off from the um, emotional dysregulation of perfectionism? Like if someone said, like if someone's like, "Hey, this is incredible," do you like receive it? Because like that's a whole other journey. Is like, can we receive in the way that we want to give and trust that what what others tell us is probably a greater truth than our own fear body. Hmm. Guilt. Okay. Yeah, I get that. I've been something that keeps coming back to me is just like gratitude. It just seems to be like it seems to be the one of the major struts of healing is just coming back to a space of gratitude. I think the whole world is one big recovering perfectionist, people pleasing, put self aside energy. I think we're getting out of it. We're going to take this planet back. Hmm. Um, having trouble finding the right brush for what I want for this really fine line stuff with the tree. Yeah, see, like that is not the size of trunk I wanted, but here we are. Expectations, you know, part of the perfectionist thing. Okay, so that's not working. What can I use? Maybe this one. Try around. There you go. That's what I want. I like the splatter effect on everything. I like it for rock textures, and then I also like it kind of close to the stone because I think it looks like little bugs flying around late in the dusk. This one needs them too. Nice. Okay, we'll see how far we can get. We got 30 minutes. My thoughts so far on the papers. Let's see what's going on. They are a little different, but I will say this is satisfying in a similar way to Arches. The jury's still out. What I think is this one allows for these variations. They're more subtle. And here there is like, it holds a lot more of the pigment just kind of at face value, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna try and go lighter on this, but the alternative is that um, this paper can do something cool like that, and I didn't have as easy a time as doing it on this paper, but we'll keep playing. Let's see. Variations on a theme. Switch out some water. Oh, the denser green zone. What I have to remember and come back to often is to slow down and explore the paper, like really look. This is something that I feel like I'm going to be talking about a lot because I can get lost in like the image and get a little overwhelmed. And most of the time, all you got to do is like look at what's happening and choose a direction to engage, and usually you'll be okay. Get some moss. Alright, I've got about 30 minutes left. I'm gonna take a second, use the restroom. I'll be right back. But here's what's happening so far. This keeps sticking out too much to me. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. And again, I could not have planned for all these little circular stone things, but that was just the texture of my paper towel. Love it. Here we go. Now it feels a little bit closer. Maybe it's nice. Yeah, it doesn't have to be completely dark. That was kind of bothering me. I will say what is cool about the Fluid 100 is the lifting is pretty straightforward, which I can appreciate. I feel like it's not as simple on the arches. It's a little subtler on the arches paper. That thank you, Emmett. I just looked over and saw your message, and it's like I'm loving this too. And just to be transparent with you, every time I'm sitting in this space, what I look forward to the most is that I know in some way I'm disrupting something that was not good for me. And so whether that's a mindset or a way to take up space or guilt, shame, all these other things. So just to speak to what you just commented of saying, loving this paper experiment, I was having a lot of fun. And then I caught myself suddenly wondering, like, is this like of value? And that's where we, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to like trust ourselves and that our joy is the fucking thing. And so thank you for the affirmation just now. I feel really cool. I feel really good about this. This is, I might want to do more of these, but again, this was just Daydream Art. What did I want? I wanted my secret meadow, and then I ended up going over a bunch of paints and a bunch of paper and all these other things in the process. And I'm choosing trust that by me learning and exploring in real time, others will receive, and even if it's just permission to keep doing their own thing. I appreciate you being in this space, Emmett. I think it's been mainly we have held down the space the longest since this began. I don't know if you were in the space when I started it. I had just mentioned we're at number 7. It would be 8 if we didn't skip that one week, and that this has been basically 2 months of this experiment, and I'm really here for it. I'm really grateful to hold this space and to have you here. I know this space is gonna it's just gonna it's all it's gonna do is like create magic for all of us, and we're gonna create what doesn't exist yet or what doesn't exist enough in the community, in the world, online, in the art space, in the creation space. Here's my little Dimetrodon. Okay, once upon a time I was going to the bathroom. I'll be back. All right, we back. Hmm. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, and I think another thing to speak to. I think part of why I paint everywhere, why I was wanting to kind of do this sketchbook thing in the first place, and why I was called to it was simply that. Look, I fingerprinted anyway. New painting alert on the back of the sketchbook. I think why I was called to the sketchbook in the first place was um, my thoughts got scrambled from the pigments. I guess what I want to say is ultimately what just freed me further today is I quickly thought, I was like, what am I feeling? What do I want to make? And the thought was the prompt showed up almost immediately. It said meadow. And so it's like, yeah, I love that that's what this can be. It's like in the process of just like choosing a random thing to explore, so many other things will emerge. I'm curious, Emmett, how is your mixology menu coming along? Here, you know what? I think they're both at a place where I can tandem work with them. Like paint at the same time. We're gonna double fist. All right, we're looking at arches, fluid 100. So this one does need like the trees up top. Don't want to do too much. I did like adding a little bit of purple in there, so I'm gonna do some of that. I don't know, that's something that's been really cool to sit with is I've been realizing, I don't know if this is everyone, but like I have the ability to store visual information and then reference it. Um, yeah, I mean, we all do, but I have like a very there's a deep reservoir, and just visual information is the easiest way for me to communicate. And so like when I go out in nature, I'm starting to learn. Like in my paintings, it's where that visual memory shows up. Because I don't often use reference, and because of that, like I never know fully if I'm like rendering something quote unquote accurately. But what I'm discovering is I'm the things that I see in nature are coming through, even if it doesn't seem very overt, or I'm not taking photos or consciously absorbing what I'm seeing. But for example, like if you really look in nature, rocks have so many colors, like so many tones. And I think like something we can get caught up in is like we don't want to add a color that looks off. Excuse me. Or like we can get caught up in like what color and how does it need to sit, and you want back on the train of perfectionism and realism. But the cool thing is when you just accept that actually rocks have tons of different colors and like stratations. That's not a word. What's the word? There's like layers and lines and different colors and tones and textures, and it's all incredible. And so I could have just done these two silhouetted rocks. I could have even left it at just the hematite genuine, but I'm digging the tones that come from muddy mixtures of colors. And yeah, that's clear. I'm just excited to have some purple in my picture. I fucking love rocks. Should go on a shirt. Rocks are incredible. I too fucking love rocks. Case in point, the very avid collection I'm growing of rocks everywhere. Here, do some purple speckle. That's cool. At this point, um, I might ink a little bit, but I don't have a lot of time, so I'm coming to a close here with just these being paints. Pure painting. And if I want to ink it, I can always do it at another time. But so right now, knowing that I'm just painting, I'm not going to be finishing it with my typical inking, means I'm just looking for final places to touch things up. Places where I want further definition. But I feel really good about these actually. It's been fun. I have set myself further free once more. And that is kind of always the goal. Thanks for being here. Got some big leaves. You know what? I'm probably gonna go over by a little bit, but I'm here, Emmett. You know, you're welcome to stay and continue taking up space. Um, I'm probably gonna stay another 15 minutes. I feel called to finish these properly because I just got called to. I wanna, knowing that this one lifts well, like lifts pigment. I wanna go into that purple and do some lifting and just. I'm having fun experimenting right now, so I want to take advantage of this. It's not every day that I'm having this much fun. And given me sloshing my hand and just given my health issues recently, um, it's been fun. You know, it's always fun to create, but today in particular felt very special. So I'd like to honor it. It's basically what I consider the art to be. It's just a record keeper of where I was any given day, any given year. Let's try this brush. I'm also going to see if I can lift from this. I know that Arches is known for its lifting capabilities, but let's see what it really can do. Yeah, so the lifting capability they're pretty similar actually. So Arches is known for it, and I can confirm that these both are pretty good at lifting. I'm still undecided about how I feel. Let's see. I'm gonna take this one. Hmm. I think my plan is I'm going to scan it as is, and then I do want to ink some of it. I do want to get that crisp. I want these rocks to actually be the focus, not the tree. So I would love for that to be. Yeah, I just don't want to do it with my finger, and I genuinely love the experience of just working with the paints, not needing to do other things, bring other mediums in. I think this one, the main experiment was trying the different papers. I think they're both a little different. I like both. Would I replace this arches with this one? I mean, based off what I can see here, pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty. I've really enjoyed this paper. I don't know. I might prefer this one, but part of it could be technique choices. I mean, I'm curious. Larger version, how it took on details. Yes, that's true. But see, okay, this is like, I mean, I'm gonna use both papers for sure at this point, but um, I do love this. Like, so there's like these little things that are happening that just have a little bit more depth. This is like still, um, there's that just the subtle shifts in tones. This didn't absorb it on first try in that same way that this did. And that is the difference with the Arches paper. Um, but overall, I really enjoyed the textures. Like that is awesome. That to me looks just like a bunch of bushes and sage brush and things like buried under this boulder. I think they both have their merits. They both will stay um, in rotation. Um, I'm still unsure. Maybe I'm gonna ink them, and that'll be the final. That'll be the final test. So, I think what my plan is, I'm gonna record separately whatever happens with these pieces, like beyond this session, and those are gonna get posted as like a separate video that's just like ASMR style, just inking or whatever I'm doing. So I'll definitely I'm gonna take a step back. I'm just gonna appreciate what just happened. I'm grateful for the container. Thank you for being here again, Emmett. I think we're gonna close the container. Did you get to draft the start of your menu for your wife's birthday? Here's a close up as well. So this is Arches. And then this one is Fluid 100. Yeah, it doesn't have the same depth. It's a subtle difference, but it's really there. Um, this paper does so much. Um, it did so much right as well, and so I love the way it lifts. I actually think maybe I prefer this, but for the lifting. But it's also that comes hand in hand with this absorbs better, this doesn't. Therefore, this will lift better, and this will lift more subtly. Like it was like a little test over there. See, I love that you considered um, a non-alcoholic because I usually am the one sitting there wanting to drink, and not have the option. So that is always appreciated. And a Shirley Temple's a great one. Well, thank you for sharing, Emmett. I'm excited to hold this space again next week. I hope you have a wonderful time with your wife this weekend. Um, yeah, and I reached out to you in our direct message chat as well. So I look forward to having a moment um, in the real world. Yes, I agree. Non-drinkers deserve the fanciest drink experience. Um, thank you for being here. I'm gonna go rest my hands, enjoy some dinner with some friends, and maybe go for a walk. Do what you can to disrupt the algorithm, y'all.